Hello everybody and welcome to a new video. Right off the bat, I just want to say this video is not gonna contain anything about the spawn trigger, as I do not know how to explain it and I do not fully understand it. As well as this tutorial is for someone who's just opened up the editor and they've just seen the 2.0 triggers and they don't know what to do with it. So yeah, absolute beginner. You know anything more than that, don't watch this. There are 4 triggers that I'm going to be covering in this video: the move trigger, the pulse trigger, the alpha trigger and the toggle trigger. These are all triggers from update 2.0, so you won't be seeing anything from update 2.1 and update 1.9. So let's get into it. Okay, so what we have in front of us now is the move trigger and the block. So what we're going to do is go ahead and select the block, and we're gonna assign it to a group ID, as all the triggers that I'm gonna show in this video need group IDs to function. So we're gonna open up the move trigger and we are gonna check out the move time. So we're gonna set it to this, and that's the amount of time that it moves. Now you can set a group ID to whatever you want it to be. We're gonna set it to the one that we just assigned. That's the X slider up there, and what we have here is the Y slider over here. And we're just gonna let the block now move up 5 blocks. So we're gonna put that positive 5, and we're just gonna go ahead and play it, and we're gonna see how it works. So as you can see, it did move up 5 blocks, and yeah. If I play it now and pause it, you guys can see that yes, it has moved up 5 pixels. I meant to say pixels, not blocks just now. So if we go over here, I just want to tell you 10 pixels equals 1 block. So if you put 10, that's 1 block. We put 50, that's 5 blocks. And if you put 100, that's 10 blocks. Good to remember that because you're gonna need it. We're gonna try out the lock player X function now. And I'm just gonna set this to 999 so that it constantly follows me. And what this is the block just follows you horizontally. This is how custom backgrounds are made. What we're gonna try now is the lock to player Y function. That locks to your Y axis or vertical. This just follows your player up and down when he jumps or when he falls. If we put them both on, now it follows your every movement, and if we position the block over yourself, that's how people can make like a Flappy Bird following you. There's also this bunch of easings, there's all these versions, and this just affects how the object looks when it moves. You can just experiment around with it and you'll most likely find something that you like. And that pretty much is the move trigger. It's pretty simple when you get used to it. Okay, so now we have the pulse trigger. The pulse trigger pretty much just changes the color or the hue of an object, and that's pretty much what it does. So what we're gonna do first is assign the inside of this block to a group ID, since we need a group ID for the pulse trigger to function. And it's not a channel ID. What channels are color channels, which you get from editing the calls. So there we go, all of these are color channels. So back here, since it's a group ID, we'll just click on group and it's already set to the group ID that we set. So we're gonna just check the color. That's the spectrum wheel, and we can change the shade and the color. There's also the fade in, the hold and the fade out. Pretty obvious what those are for. We're just gonna set the fade to 30, 30, and there's not gonna be a hold and fade out. Just set it to another 30. And we're just going to click OK. Now if we test it, there we go, the color changed. And because the color changed, here I can just show you from moving my mouse over the screen. With the color changing, this can be used for a lot of stuff, but now we're going to check out the hue. And we need the color ID for this. So the middle is currently set to color ID 2, which is the color channel. So without adding any hue, it just changes to another purple. So now then, if we go ahead and change the hue, so go ahead add maybe 50, I guess. Yeah, 50. Yep, there we go. And now you see it changes to a slight burgundy color. If we set it at minus 50, yeah, close enough, it changes to a dark blue. And that's pretty much what it does. You can set the colors to any of these as well. And then you can add in main only and detail only at the top there, and then of course it can be touch triggered and it can be spawn triggered. Okay, so what we have here now is the alpha trigger. the alpha trigger is very useful for effects creators, as it allows them to transition between effects nicely. So if we go ahead and add this block to a group ID very quickly, there you go. So what the alpha trigger does is it toggles a group's opacity, can be touch triggered, spawn triggered. The fade time slider is this, and say we want to put the opacity of a certain group to 50 or 0.50 to be exact. There you go, it's at 0.50. So we can put it at 0 to make it invisible. It's just your regular opacity like you can do for color channels. And if we add a fade time, we can make it appear very smoothly. So just put it there, we go and play it. Okay, that was a bad way of showing it because it's playtest mode. There you go, let me just save and play. There you go, you saw that it faded in nicely, and that's very useful as you can make a smooth transition between effects, and you can also toggle opacity of objects so that you can see through it and make stuff. Okay, now the toggle trigger. Most likely a effect creator's really best friend, even more than the move trigger and all. And this is also the magic behind low detail modes. What this does is it toggles off a group of objects or toggles it on. And the difference between this and alpha trigger is you can toggle it off, and well, what it would do is it would cause no lag because it's off, while an alpha trigger would still cause lag even though it's invisible. But you can pair it up with an alpha trigger to make a nice smooth transition to it disappearing. So now it has an alpha version of it going and losing opacity, while the toggle trigger removes the lag from it completely. Now what I'm gonna try out now and show you is actually a little bit of toggle on. And yes, it can be touch triggered, spawn triggered, as every other trigger can be. So just go ahead and put that there, and I'm gonna put this here, and all I'm gonna have to do is hit activate group, and this pretty much toggles on something that has already been toggled off. And this is useful as it does what a alpha trigger with 0 fade time and 0 opacity can do, but because it causes no lag, it's better. Obviously this just scratches the surface of what you can do with these 4 triggers, but if you're a beginner, that's all you really need to know. Just go watch other tutorials and just experiment to find what you need. Hopefully this was helpful, and maybe check out a couple more of my videos after this. Thanks for watching, and bye.